I'm Belinda Sandor, also known as Rocket Girl. Today, we're going to talk about how to get more done with reverse delegation. Welcome to the RocketGirl Show. I'm your host, Belinda Sandor. Today, we're going to talk about reverse delegation. Now, if you're going to be a successful virtual assistant, the first thing that you need to understand is that clients are not good at delegating, okay? So what we need to do is really take this on ourselves and make sure that we're doing everything we can to help them so that we can do a good job. I have seen VAs in the past that say, they are complaining and they're saying, they never give me what I need. They, send me 20 emails. They, all this kind of stuff. And the truth is that delegation is not something that's taught. What happens, and to varying degrees, what happens is that someone will delegate and they'll just do it off the top of their head. It's very rare that people think, okay, what's the whole project? What am I trying to accomplish here? It's much more of a piecemeal kind of a situation, right? Is this how you all experience it? Or what happens is maybe they think it through, but they don't understand how the technology works. So they might tell you to do something a certain way when actually that doesn't make sense at all. So our job as virtual assistants is to provide the thoughtfulness of how we can perform the task in a way that's going to get the job done efficiently and help them the most. So let's say hello to some people who are here. Hello, Yusef. I get all the virtual assistant courses. That's awesome. Awesome. And Yvette is here. Hi, Yvette. Hello. Okay. So let's break this down. And I would love your thoughts in the comments. I want to know, has this happened to you? Have you been delegated to in a way that, there's a lot of missing pieces? And it can be frustrating, but I think once you just realize this is the way it works and relax about it, it makes it a lot easier instead of fighting it. All right. When we fight things, it makes it more difficult. But when I see, when I see this happening, I think, okay, all right, this is part of why they want to work with me, because my brain works in a way that I can really support them. Hello, Diane. Hello. And Frederic. And Divine Empress LLC. Hello. Thanks for watching, you guys. I love having you here. The episodes of the RocketGirl Show are really my way of trying to, step inside your world in a personal way and give you information that's going to make a difference in your business. Good morning, Angela. Hello. Okay, so let's jump into reverse delegation. Okay, so reverse delegation is once someone has delegated something to you, you're going to go back in there before you get started and make sure that you have all the pieces that you need in order to do a good job. Reach back out to the client. If you don't, explain what you need and then start the work from there. Hello, Robin. Hello. That kitty cat. Okay. So the first thing is to make sure you have what you need before you start. If someone has said to you, would you please update my website? I need you to add a product to it. You want to make sure that you take a look. Do you have the picture? Do you have the description? Do you know how much it costs? All of those things, just think it through, step by step. If someone is asking you to do their email newsletter, put the text into the template for them. Do I have all the sections? Do I have an image? Do they want an image? All of these different things. And you know what? It's very different from client to client. Sometimes, and this is not great, so you have to decide how bad a delegator, if they're really bad at delegation, do you want them as a client? They might not be a good fit. But sometimes, it can be really overwhelming. Frederic says, I think once you know different clients, you know exactly what to ask and when they just want the job done without specific instructions. That's true. And a red flag for me when I'm talking to someone in a discovery call, is when they just say, I just want someone to handle the whole thing, or someone just needs to fix my email. It's really broken, and that's a sign of a client that's not a good fit for me, because I need to be able to work with someone who might not know the answer to the question, but at least they have the question, why isn't it working? This is what's happening, and then I can dive in. But there are people, and we have to be very careful of this, who they don't delegate well, and they don't want to understand what the problem is. They don't really want to understand the work. They just want someone to handle their social media, and it's important that you have people that you're working with that you can partner with, So yes, they don't need to know the algorithm on Instagram, and they don't need to know the best image sizes, but they do need to know what's the message they're trying to portray, and they need to review the post with you, and make sure it's on brand, at least in the beginning, until you really understand it. So in a way, I hadn't thought about this before, but in a way, this is how we can the word protect is a little bit too strong, but this is how we can, I'll use it for now, protect ourselves, insulate ourselves from mistakes by reverse delegating and making sure that we're really clear about what they want to do. Where are we going? And here's the other thing. Very often, and I think I mentioned this, a client will say, I want this. And really, when you look at it and you understand where they're trying to go, that's not what they need you to do. They need you to do something else, because they don't necessarily understand the process, because they're experts at something else. All right, number 2, find out the order of priorities. Okay, so you want to make sure that you understand. So here's the thing. If it's a complex project, let's say there's multiple steps, or they're giving you more than one things to do, like set up this webinar, update the website, I need my LinkedIn to be updated. You want to find out the order of priorities, because it's easy to start with the easy thing, right? And that's what I would probably do, to just check that box. But it might be that that's just a secondary thing, and really the priority is that update the website. So you want to be conversational with your clients when they're letting you know what to do, and just simply ask the question, okay, great. I'm going to do, all of these things, X, Y, and Z, repeat it back to them, and then say, which is the most important? Where would you like me to start? It's a simple question, but it's important, because they might not understand how your day works. You have different work coming in, you're juggling priorities all day long. And so, you want to find out, okay, what's the priority? And then that flows right into this thought, which is work out a deadline. Don't get off the phone. Don't get off Zoom. Don't, read that email and then not really know when they need it. This is for 2 reasons. One, I have some clients that say, no rush when you get to it. And they mean like by tomorrow. I have other clients who they say, no rush whenever you get to it. And they really mean that, like in a week, 2 weeks, it's fine, no big deal. So as you're learning your clients' personalities and their work style, you're going to want to ask this question. Here's the other reason to ask a question. I had a new client. She sent me an email. I thought I was going to get to the work that day, and I didn't. I made the deadline up in my head. I made it up in my head. And so I am killing myself to get to this deadline that actually was not real. Okay, it wasn't real. So what I decided to do in my moment of, oh my gosh, when am I going to get to this? I emailed her quickly. Hi, just checking in. This is on my radar. When do you need it by? She was like, Friday. It was Wednesday. No problem. Pressure removed. So it's really, you want this information for you and for your client, and it just makes the relationship so much more successful. And here's the other thing. They trust you. Because they know that you're doing a good job. They understand, they understand that you're putting thought into this, and that you're not just, flinging the work over the edge. So that's important. The last thing I want to talk about is, I want you to repeat the expectations if they're spoken. Okay. So let's say I'm on a Zoom meeting. The client's explaining what they want me to do. What I'm doing while we're talking is I have an Evernote up, and I'm taking notes, do this. And I'm asking clarification questions. And then at the end of the conversation, I'll say, let's just recap. Very simple. Let's just recap. I want, I'm going to do this. You're going to do that. The deadline is this. I'm waiting for you to send me this before I can get started. Easy peasy, right? Really simple. The key is, especially when you're just starting out, to be calm enough in the meeting with the client that you can really hear what they're saying and grasp it, ask questions and write it down. And I know that very much in the beginning, when we have calls with clients, we want to look really smart. And we want them to think, we've got it, no problem, I got it, But what I found in the beginning was I would get off of the phone, this is pre-Zoom, and I would think, you know what, I'm not really clear about that. So now I have to go back. And going back is okay, but as you get more seasoned and more experienced, you'll learn not to do that, because the missing piece is confidence. If you can just fake that confidence until you have enough experience to really feel it and think, okay, I need to ask, what questions do I need to ask? You're going to have a much better experience. You're going to be much more successful. And honestly, you're going to be less stressed out, because trying to do something when you don't know what it is you're trying to do, and playing a guessing game is not a recipe for success. So Danielle, good morning. Hello, hello, hello. And here's a Facebook user saying hello. So tell me in the chat, has this happened to you? Have you had a client give you work and all of a sudden, you're going to start doing it and you're thinking, ruh-roh, like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Hi, Karen. I'm glad you're here. Hello, hello, hello. Glad you're here. I'd love to hear that. Some people become better delegators over time. Others do not. They just don't. It's just their style. And as I mentioned before, you have to decide if they're a good fit for you, if you want to continue working with them. And here's the other thing. Don't expect them to change. Don't expect them to change to suit your working style. You can make suggestions, but you're really in service of them. I did not say servant. I said in service, meaning you're there to help them. And so you want to make sure that you can meet them where you are as much as you can. And there have been times when clients' delegation style is just not a fit with mine, and we've decided to end the relationship, at a moment when it makes sense for both of us. So I'm just not leaving them in the lurch and saying, hey, I can't work with you. This is terrible. But really, saying, I think we're not a good fit. I have a different style of working. I'd like to end our relationship at XYZ point. So you want to make sure you're taking care of them. Okay. So I want to tell you before we go away that I have a free online classroom. It's called the Virtual Assistant Connection. And if you're not already a member, I would love to have you join me. We have over 20,000 members in the group, and it's very exciting. It's very, the community is, I have to say, I'm really happy. It's warm and welcoming. It's supportive. It's awesome. And I'd love for you to be a part of that if you're on your VA journey. And if you're just starting out, you're thinking about it, you're not even really sure what a VA is, but this sounds pretty cool to be able to work from home. Come on over. There's a ton of free information there. There are, all kinds of episodes of the RocketGirl Show and different trainings. And you'll want to catch my brand new show that is on Fridays called Lessons from the Cockpit. It's a tactical and practical things you need to run your VA business. So I'd love to have you join me on Fridays as well. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Yes, this has happened. And there are those who believe clairvoyance is a highlight on your resume. It is okay to ask questions, and lots of them when the client is not being clear. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Yes, this has happened, and I have to email later to clarify. I make sure to advise them when I can complete the task, once I get the items, or ask them when they need to buy. Good for you. That's great. Mary, you're welcome. You are welcome. I just joined the group 2 weeks ago, and already I feel like I've learned so much. Thank you for the free resources. I'm looking forward to starting my VA journey soon. And you know what? The other thing I want to tell you a couple of other things before we sign off. One is if you're watching on YouTube, click the subscribe button so you'll be notified every time I go live. And the other thing is coming right up. Let's see if I can get the banner for this. Coming right up is my 5-day training. It's free. It's called the VA Client Kickstart Challenge. So if you are just trying to figure out, what do I do first? What do I do next to get clients, to figure out your services, all of those things, you're just sort of standing there like, okay, I want to do this. This sounds really cool. I have no idea how to get started. Or you've been a VA for a while and you just don't have that steady stream of clients you want. This is for you. So it's coming right up. I'm going to put the link where you can sign up for it right now, right here. Okay. You can go to this URL. The other thing, there is a pop-up Facebook group where I am in there every single day answering your questions. There's tons of information. So if you haven't joined the upcoming challenge, please go right there and do that now. I would love to have you. Okay, everybody. Thank you for coming. This has been great. I love doing the Rocket Girl shows. I'll see you in the Facebook group. Until next time, this is Rocket Girl signing off. Bye-bye.